You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense.
Well, this is Halloween.
Halloween! And welcome to the Radio Nonsense Halloween Spooktacular episode. That's my scary laugh. Monsters and villains always have a scary laugh, don't they? I wish sometimes you'd watch a scary show or a film and there'd be a really big monster in it and they'd laugh like hee burp, and then whoever's running away from them would just turn around and go, "Oh, you're probably okay actually," and then they'd all hang out till the monster eats their heads off and it's all scary again. Sorry, I'm just waiting for Hollywood to call about my brilliant scary movie idea, but no luck yet. Also, you never get goodies with terrifying laughs, do you? Right, I'd love a film to be all, "I'm the hero and I've saved the day." And then everyone goes, "Oh dear, maybe we've done this wrong." I'm TIERNA'Ns. That's my Halloween name, which you can do as well if you just take all the bits of your name and then you make them scary instead. Like, for example, if your name is Graham Poopington, then your Halloween name would be Scary Graham Poopington. No, wait, hang on. No, it'd be Graham Boopington. Or Linda, for example, would be Linda. Linda, what do you think about your Halloween name, Linda? No? Okay, well, one day we'll find out who this Linda is, if she's anyone at all. This is the special Halloween episode where my guest will be answering your specifically Halloween questions that you have sent in. And if you're listening to this and thinking, "But I don't celebrate Halloween," well, no one does, because it comes from All Hallows Eve, where, everyone just said hello to Eve and no one else. And then before that it was All Hallow Tide, where people used to say hello to the sea. And now it's become Halloween, where we just say hello to people called Ian and no one else. But you might also do things like bobbing for apples, where your ancient creaking fart ghouls, grown-ups who just feel ancient, maybe they put loads of apples in some water and then you have to try and eat them with your face, with your hands tied behind your back. And hang on, that just sounds really silly, doesn't it? It'd be much easier just to give the apple a rinse and then hold it and eat it. Why do grown-ups make everything so difficult? Maybe you should put their favourite snacks in a barrel of water and tell them they can only grab them with their butts or they can't have them, or something like that. Get your own back. Or you might also carve a pumpkin and then stick a candle in it, even though other things like candle holders hold candles much better. And then, of course, there is trick-or-treating, which is where you go around with your ancient creaking fart ghouls and you knock on people's doors in your neighbourhood and then they hide and wait till you go away. I think that's how it works. That's what I do. Anyway, I'm not really sure what the trick-or-treat bit is. Anyway, don't worry if you don't celebrate Halloween. Lots of people don't. You might still like monsters and very silly, important questions about zombies and things, in which case this episode is still for you. And if you are doing fun Halloween things, then I hope you're having fun with those. And never forget, the best costume you can wear to a Halloween party is to go as an invisible person and then just not turn up. But tell everyone you did, and they'll think your costume is amazing. So, this is a bonus episode just for this weekend of Ghosts Who Eat Toast, Ghouls Who Go to School, and Witches Who Play Nintendo Switches. So, let's get to it. Thanks again for sending in all your excellent Halloween questions, and let's get to the perfect guest who's going to answer them all for you.
Want to be haunted by us. We're not here to frighten or cause any fuss. We are elegant ghosts of invisible size, and we'll float through your doors as we harmonize. But the principal item we'd like to discuss, we want you to want to be haunted by us.
I am joined for the Halloween special Radio Nonsense by a very hair-raising guest, and by that I mean she looks after baby hairs until they're all grown up. Yes, that's right, it's Bec Hill, aka Count Becula, Bec Hills down your spine, champion ghost shouter, and the only person in the whole world to pick the bogeyman and eat him, which sounds disgusting, but it was actually very heroic. Hello, Bec.
Hey, crazy times those were. just with the bogeyman and everything.
Yeah, but everyone's still very grateful that you did it. I mean, it was quite disgusting, but
Someone's
you did
got to
it,
do it.
and you saved a lot of people. People were quite scared of that bogeyman until you ate him.
Yeah, yeah. And then I pooped him out.
And which arguably then made him more disgusting and more terrifying.
Yeah, yeah. He lives in sewers now.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, actually, thinking about it, I was sort of say that what you did was quite heroic, but now, if anything, I think you may have made the bogeyman even in that he's sort of a bogey and poo man is far worse.
Yeah, it's true. He doesn't attack children though. He only attacks adults, and he only attacks adults who have sat on the toilet looking at their phones for so long that their legs have gone numb.
Oh no, that might
Then
be
he knows
me
they
though.
can't run away.
I mean, this is now you just made me terrified of ever going to the toilet ever again.
Yeah. And when I say attack, he pops his head up in the toilet and he kisses your bum.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now you've made it worse. That's even worse. I prefer to be attacked. Wow. I mean, I take. You know what? I tell you, I was really singing your praises about this tackling the bogeyman, and now I feel like actually you've, for all the grown-ups that are listening to this, with the children, with our proper listeners,
He
they're
doesn't
now
mean
just
to attack
never going to go
people.
to the loo
He
ever
just
again.
thinks that bums are actually someone's face and that they're very beautiful.
Well, do you know what? I suppose that's fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've definitely met some bum faces. Have you met some bum faces? I regularly have a bum. I wake up in the morning, sometimes look in the mirror and go, "Wow, I've got a bum face today."
I think the only time I've had a bum face is when no, I've never had one. I
Never
thought
had one?
maybe there'd been one in my past. No, but I was thinking of an elbow face.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Elbow
Mm.
faces are a lot more common. I sometimes if you like lie on your pillow in a certain way and it leaves like a line down your face when you wake up, and then that looks
Oh,
like a
does it?
bum.
I always end up with that line down sort of over my eye and my cheek, so I look like a Bond villain. And then I
Whoa.
walk around the house being like, "I've been expecting you," and
Ah,
I
pillow
pat
face.
yeah,
I'll get you, pillow face.
yeah.
That'd be such a brilliant villain. A villain that's just had a really, really good night's sleep and is, I'm being so mean because I've got more energy than everyone else. I've slept so well.
That is a villain.
That is a villain. I'd
They'd,
be jealous of that.
they'd be way happier than everyone who hasn't slept well.
Yeah, that's true. It'd be quite hard to. I don't know how you'd sort of defeat. You'd have to really tire them out. You'd have to just sort of make them run around a lot, and then defeat them by
Mm.
making them go back to bed. I feel like I can't believe they haven't got us to write the next Bond film. I'll be honest, Beck. I feel like hopefully we're in line now that Daniel Craig's done his job. We should be in line for the
Yeah,
next one, and it
Bun,
can be
the
like
bum film.
no time
Bum,
for
James
sleep.
Bum.
James Bum, no time for sleep. Yeah. That sounds brilliant. I would definitely see that in a heartbeat. I realize that we're talking about an action film though. That's an action film. This is the Halloween special, Beck. We got to talk about like scary things. Have you had anything scary happen to you this week?
This week, oh yeah, definitely. I did all of the. I left all of my dirty dishes by the sink,
Yeah.
and then later they'd all been washed. They were all
What?
clean.
What?
Yeah, I hung out a bunch of laundry, and
Yeah.
then later it had all been put away.
Whoa. Oh, that's really
Yeah,
weird. And you have
and
no idea how.
at around 7 or 8 p.m., I just get handed dinner.
What?
Yeah,
Wow, you've got like the
which
opposite of a poltergeist, because like a poltergeist like normally causes trouble and throws things around. You've got like an opposite poltergeist.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
It's really
It's
crazy.
it's really nice. He's got a name as well. His name's Gavin.
Right,
He's very
right.
very nice poltergeist.
And is it? Can you see him, or is he like sort of just sort of?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
right.
No, I can see him. Yeah, yeah,
Wow. And does
yeah.
he look sort of scary?
I
Does he
married
look-
him. That's what a nice poltergeist he is. I was like, oh, I'll
Oh
marry
wow.
you. You're a nice poltergeist. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. And does he look very ghostly? Is he sort of? Does he look like he's wearing a sheet on his head, or any of those sorts of normal ghost things?
I mean, he's a bit pale, but he is from Scotland, so
Right. Right.
that's to be expected. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I mean, he doesn't sound very scary at all.
No, actually, yeah. I mean, it's spooky more than it is scary.
Yeah.
Lucky, I would say, maybe more than spooky.
Yeah. And is there like a way? Did you have to sort of I don't know, like I don't sort of you can either conjure up a ghost, I suppose, like with a sort of like a scary, I don't know, spell or something, or like was he already in the house? Was he already speaking the house? Because basically, what I'm trying to work out is if I leave a load of dirty dishes by the sink, I just get told off, and I'd like a ghost to come and do them.
But oh, who tells you off though? Is it your poltergeist?
Oh yeah, you see, but I've got two poltergeists. I've got a little one that's really noisy, and
Yeah,
she doesn't really do any.
chaotic.
Yeah, she's like a proper poltergeist. She just sort of leaves mess everywhere,
Mm.
and uses the potty and stuff, and I have to clean it up. And then
Oh, so a
the
potty geist.
a potty geist. That's it. That's what it is. Yeah, yeah. And then there's another poltergeist, and she just sort of gets upset if I don't do the washing up. So. Yeah, I feel like maybe
Mm.
do you want to swap poltergeists?
No, but I feel like if you and I went on holiday, our poltergeists would like do okay for a while.
Sure, maybe that's what I need to. Maybe I need to go out and. It's funny. It's just funny when you
Give them
talk
a
about
break.
just like how we've all got like just ghosts in our like just poltergeists just hanging around our homes. Like we only talk about this at
Mm,
Halloween, but they're there all the time.
all the time. Actually, I will tell you, I'm pretty sure my fridge is haunted.
Oh, why's that?
Yeah. It's really cold. You know how
Oh,
whenever people go to like a house and there's a cold spot and that's where the ghost is.
yeah,
Yeah, my fridge is really cold. So I think and I know people are like, oh, Beck, fridges are meant to be cold. But I mean, yeah, what better place for for a ghost to hide than somewhere that's
yeah.
already cold?
Well, I mean,
That's why
also.
Antarctica's got so many ghosts.
Of course it has. That makes total sense. I mean, I'm slightly, I am worried because you say your fridge is cold. There must be a ghost in it. Our freezer must be full of ghosts.
It Oh yeah, yeah. Little cubed ones, little cube frozen ones.
That's it. Yeah, right. I've seen them. They look really ghostly as well. Yeah. And then
Mm.
I normally try and release them back to like the spirit world or wherever it is they live by having them in a drink.
Yeah, that's in a spirit.
Yeah, in a spirit. Yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
very clever. Yeah, wow. This is. Oh, I think you just really made me realize that I think we, as I said, we talk about this just for Halloween, but actually we interact with all these sort of monsters and ghouls on a day-to-day basis. I'm often in the supermarket, and I'm sure everyone else there is a zombie.
Oh, 100%.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's why that's why they're always in the meat section looking for brains.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's probably it, isn't it? And it's definitely like if you get on the train early in the morning and it's just full of completely zombied people who look really like they're just walking around going,
Yeah.
all the sort of grown ups, definitely. Yeah, so and I'm pretty sure as well in our area. Sometimes at night I hear a oh, and I'm sure there must be a werewolf around in the neighbour's garden. I mean, very sort of
Yeah.
like very small werewolf with a little collar. But I'm guessing that's just a sort of werewolf, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably a child. Like they're probably normally a child and then they
Yeah,
become a little werewolf.
yeah,
So if you
yeah,
see when you see the small child that's on a harness, if anyone listening, if you've got a younger brother or sister and your parents have to keep them on a harness so they don't run away, they're
yes,
probably also a werewolf. That's why that's why when you see those little dogs on harnesses,
yeah.
that's just a
It's
small
the same,
child
isn't it?
that
Yeah,
changed.
yeah. That is
Yeah.
true. And I think also just generally, if you see just very hairy people, they're probably I've got a beard and hair. I do worry that sometimes I'm a werewolf.
Oh, I mean, without a doubt, I've always felt that way about you, Tiernan.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just not a
Yeah.
very good one. Like I can't. I
Well, you
don't
keep
really.
forgetting to change back into a human.
That's part of my problem. It's also that I don't really like going out at night because I'm sort of tired by that point. I prefer to stay in and watch TV. So I don't really
It's
do the
true.
werewolf thing. I don't really like howling at the moon because again we sort of get complaints, and I feel like the moon gets enough sort of things shouted at it. I don't want to join in. I feel it's a bit mean.
Does it?
So
What other things does the moon get shouted at Tiernan?
like, "Aye, crater face! Aye, you big
Oh,
stinky cheese ball!
oh,
Aye,
it's so mean.
you boring moon. There's nothing on there." There's stuff like that. It's just sort of,
Who's yelling that? Astronauts.
the poltergeists I live with. They're very rude, actually. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. It's I don't know why they do it, but it's often, that's one when they see they haven't done the dishes, and then they go out in the garden and shout at the moon. It's just how it works around here. Yeah,
That's
it's very
fair.
strange. It's very strange. Very strange lives. Well, I mean, wow, I'm really pleased you've had a spooky experience before, coming to do the podcast today. I think that's probably hopefully put you in the right mindset. We've had some amazing questions sent in specifically for this Halloween special. But before we get to that, Beck, I have to ask you: do you have a favourite spooky noise that you could do for this here audio podcast for people to listen to with their ears or monster knees? I don't really know how monsters listen to things. Maybe through their bums. We don't know.
Yeah, actually I do.
Hmm.
And any kids listening to this, if you do this to an adult, it will actually terrify. It will terrify them. So I think the spookiest thing is a little voice saying one or the other of these, Daddy or Mummy, but like in the dark. In the dark when you can't see anyone. If you're a child listening to this and you want to spook your parents or any adults around, wait till it's dark and they don't know you're in the room, and then just do that, Daddy. It's creepy.
That is creepy. I think, yeah, I'd definitely be creeped out by that. But, I mean, there's definitely a big part of me would be creeped out by that, because I'd be thinking, but you're meant to be in bed. Why aren't you in bed? And that would automatically creep me out instantly, because it would be really annoying.
Oh,
They
that,
weren't in
yeah,
bed.
yeah.
Yeah, that's really spooky. Why are little children's voices quite spooky? Like sometimes, so I think a lot of listeners listening to this won't realise that sometimes little voices can be the scariest voices. And I think maybe it is just because you think, but you're meant to be. Why aren't you in bed? And I'm now terrified
Yeah.
about tomorrow when you're going to be overtired and you're going to be really annoying.
Yeah, you're right. I never thought it should be big loud voices, shouldn't it? That are the scariest.
Yeah, it really should be. It should be
Well, not even
you're saying,
voices.
Daddy, Mummy would be scary, but it should be Daddy, Mama. Like that should be terrifying.
Yeah,
Like if it
that'd
was
be
dark
terrifying.
and I just heard that, I'd be like, what is that? Who's done that? That'd be
Yeah,
terrifying.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Who's in my room?
Exactly, and also if a voice that big is asking for its daddy or its mummy, imagine how big its daddy or its mummy are. They'd be massive. Yeah. Wow. Wow. That is, well, good choice, though. Very good choice of spooky noise. And I wondered as well, obviously, because this is a family. I mean, I say it's a family podcast, but it's a Halloween special, so it's probably too scary for most grown-ups listening. But it is indeed for everyone younger who can handle kind of monster chat. But I just want to check if there are any spooky, rude words that you definitely won't be saying for this episode, so that it is okay for people of all ages, including ancient mummies and indeed mummies who feel ancient and daddies who feel ancient too.
Oh, yeah, I promised I would never say Shrektoplasm.
Oh no! Wow, that's quite the word, because that's too. That's like wow. Ugh. I don't really want to say Shrektoplasm, but yeah,
it is rude. Yeah, you shouldn't say it. It means like the slime left over by a Shrek ghost.
A Shrek ghost. So it's a ghost of
Yeah.
so it's a ghost of an ogre, and then they leave slime. Wow, there's a lot to that, and I'm guessing
and
it's
the slime
bright
is called
green.
Shrektoplasm, but it's a very rude word, so you shouldn't say it.
Wow, I think I've sneezed Shrektoplasm before. I think there's a big chance. I've definitely done a big sneeze and be like, well, that is Shrektoplasm. Wow, but I won't say it. Thank you for not saying.
You might upset anyone near you.
Yeah, I think I do regularly anyway, but I think I definitely won't say Shrektoplasm. Thank you for making sure you won't say Shrektoplasm too, and no one will throughout the rest of this episode. Right, Beck.
Not as bad as ectoplasm.
Is that like the?
Which is not a rude word, but is far grosser.
Is that ectoplasm left by the ghost of an egg, or is it just the sort of like when you like drop an egg and it goes everywhere?
It's when you break an egg and just a ghost comes out, but there's nothing else in there.
That'd be so annoying. I'd be really annoyed if I'm like, I'm going to have eggs for breakfast. Woo! Oh, come on. I'd be really annoyed. You can't scramble a ghost. Oh.
Who says?
Well, if you tried, I bet it'd be really tricky. They'd just sort of keep going woo, woo, and then
You're like trying to make candy floss.
Yeah. Well, hang on though, hang on. Now you've changed my mind, because if I cracked open an egg and a ghost came out and then I scrambled it and I got candy floss, I'd actually be much happier.
Oh, me too. Maybe that's where candy floss comes from.
Do you think candy floss is
Ectoplasm.
scrambled ghosts? And then wow, hang on. Bec, we've got a lot of questions to answer, but I feel the need to delve into this slightly. If you go to like a fairground and they're selling candy floss, there's a person there that has captured a lot of ghosts and is scrambling them just for children to eat.
Yes.
That feels, wow. I mean, but also now I'm worried, like, what if the poltergeists we live with end up getting captured by someone at the fairground and then like turn into candy floss, and then who does the dishes? Yeah, I'm a bit worried.
Oh yeah, you're trying to I was going to say that that is actually where the there's a film for grown-ups called Ghost in the Shell, and that's exactly what it's about.
Yes, I've heard about that. Yeah, it's entirely about someone who's like, I'm going to have eggs for tea, cracks them open, it's a ghost, they scramble them. Yeah. It's not a great film. It's not very long.
No.
It's good.
Very, very short one.
Yeah. Well, wow, there you go. And I just any sort of children listening to this that are worried that their eggs are going to have a ghost in, I think, am I right in it that you only get eggs if there's like a chicken that goes cock-a-doodle boo? Is that the ones that lay the ghost eggs? Yeah,
because the ones that go cock-a-doodle doo are roosters and they cannot lay eggs.
Yes.
So
yes,
you need the ones that go cock-a-doodle boo. They're boosters.
Yes,
they lay ghost eggs.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
So that's it. Good. I'm glad we've got that. I'm glad we've got that sorted out. Just as people need to know these warnings so they can avoid ghost eggs if they don't want them, or if they do want candy floss, they can get. Wow.
Yeah, you won't
just
get free range ones. They won't have ectoplasm. You're good.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So not free. So you want free range. You don't want haunted.
Free range are good ones.
Haunted coop hens, I think, is where they live.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want those.
No, it's very complicated. Wow, well, thank you, Bec, and thanks for not saying Shrek-toplasm.
Free strange, I think is the other one.
Free strange, that's it. Yes, yeah. Those are that's right. That's absolutely the ones that you want. Yeah.
Have ghosts in them.
Yeah, right. Well, now we've covered that important chat about ghost eggs, which is it's actually very important. I think not enough podcasts are discussing the important issues like that, and I'm glad that we can bring this to listeners out there. It's something that kids need to know, especially before Halloween weekend. But look, I've been sent in loads of questions by all the listeners who I can't believe how much they need to ask about Halloween actually. And the first set of questions just from one person, right? Because I didn't say how many questions to send in, and this one person, Alexandra Kelly, who is age 10, England, PS poo, PS gorilla poo toilet. She has sent in, that's what she said. That's all in emojis, and she also put like England and then the England flag, just to make sure I knew which one it. Well, actually, I suppose she wanted me to know which one it is. It also looks like a red cross, so maybe she's a doctor. I don't know. It's very confusing, or maybe it's like where a helicopter should land. I don't know. Anyway, she's given me extra information that she's got 3 questions. So are you ready? I'll fire off question 1. And Bec, I think you're going to be very good with this. So Alexandra would like to know, why do people find skeletons scarier than the muscular system? Question mark.
Oh, yep. I know the answer to that. It's because the muscular system, without a skeleton or anything, can't stand up. It just looks like a pile of clothes. on the floor. It's
Oh.
very hard to be scared of that. But a skeleton, you can prop it up, you can stand it up, like build. It's like a Lego. It's like building blocks,
Yes, that's true.
and
So
then you're like,
if you were
oh,
being
that's a
like,
big thing.
because if you're being chased down the road by a skeleton, that would be quite scary because it would probably run after you. But if you're being chased down the road by a muscular system, it would just be like, and just sort of slop
Yeah,
on
probably
the
get attacked
ground.
by dogs or foxes or something before it got to you.
Yeah, that's a really good. I'm being chased by some like thigh muscles. They're still there. They've taken a very long
Yeah.
time. Oh, it's raining. They've been washed down the drain. That'd be a really rubbish film. I suppose the fear would be if skeletons and the muscular system teamed up. If they worked out, they could team up together.
Oh, don't even, honestly, like, that would be the scary. Don't give them ideas, Tiernan. Like, imagine if the muscular system, the skeletal system, and like skin and vital organs all teamed up.
Oh no!
We'd be in so much trouble.
Oh, that's
They'd be
terrifying.
unstoppable.
And can you imagine how they look? Oh, they look really hideous.
Ugh.
Wow.
Ugh.
That is horrible. Yeah. Ugh. I can't believe Alexandra asked that question, actually, because they put it like that. I'm worried I'm going to have nightmares for a long time about that combination of skeletons, muscles, vital organs, skin, hair. Imagine if there was hair on there as well. Possibly clothes, maybe shoes. Oh, my goodness.
Ugh.
Ugh, not worth thinking about. Wow. Well, you answered that one very quickly. That was very impressive, Bec. I knew you were the person to talk to for this special show. Alexandra's next question. This is really important, actually. I do wonder about this quite a lot. Why do people... And I want to say I'll tell you the question first, but she says, why do people always say boo? Because poo would be so much better. Now, I just want to say this. She says, why do people always say boo? And I don't know about you. I don't know, like, not in my area. People every day aren't going around, boo, 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 boo. I don't think they're always saying it, but maybe where she lives in England, maybe they are.
Yeah, maybe maybe I've been gigging there. She's just heard a lot of people saying boo. Boo.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, so would you prefer them to say poo, poo?
Yeah, maybe, because then I'd think, oh, maybe they've done a poo and that's why they're upset, not because they're not enjoying my stand-up.
Yes, yeah, that's. I mean, but do you think boo is a particularly? It's not really that bad a word. There's that phrase, isn't it? Like you can't say boo to a goose, and I don't know why you're not allowed to. I don't know what it is about geese where you can't say boo to them. Maybe
I once said boo to a dog.
Oh yeah, what happened?
And it did not like it. And the dog was walking in and I jumped out and I went boo like that, and the dog jumped and then barked at me because it was very angry that I gave it a scare.
Wow.
And I thought, oh, I didn't know you could scare dogs, but now I do and I feel bad.
Yeah, that is bad. I mean, but again, I would have thought, because boo's not that far from a woof. Like there's two, it's got two O's in it, like woof. And you get rid of the F, it's just a woo, and a woo's quite like a boo. So I don't know why a boo's particularly.
No, I think a woo with two O's is a nice thing. Like when you woo someone. 3 O's or more, that's scary. That's woo.
Yes. But is that not just a fancy, like a really fancy ghost, like a woo, I'm a ghost?
Maybe.
Whereas a boo ghost is like, boo, I'm a scare your dog. Woo, I'm a wear nice clothes.
A boo, but also boo is like short for, it's like bae, isn't it? Boo can be like your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Oh, can it?
Oh, my boo.
So when like ghosts go boo, they could be like, you're my girlfriend, you're my boyfriend, but they're
asking you on a date.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, they have crushes on you.
That's quite nice. Yeah, see, people think ghosts are scary, but they're just like, they either got a crush on you or they're telling you they're real fancy ghosts and they're going woo. That's not that. It's not that. But I mean, Alexandra's
and then all you have to do is say, I just think we should be friends, and then that's cool.
Yeah,
they'll
nice.
calm down.
That's lovely. I mean, Alexandra's saying that she thinks poo would be so much better than boo, but I feel like you've justified boo quite well there.
Yeah, I mean, poo is poo. Like if a ghost said, Well, it depends. If the ghost jumped out very quickly and went poo like that, I would probably be just as scared. If they were holding poo at the time, I would be more scared.
Ghost poo. Yeah.
But if they weren't holding poo and then you were like, why did you say poo? You would just be confused. You wouldn't, like, after a while, you'd just be like, I think you're
Yeah.
overselling yourself, mate.
I think that were you to say walk into like a haunted building, and if everyone was like, welcome to this haunted building, and then as you're wandering around, there were just ghosts going, poo, poo. I don't think I'd be very scared. I think I'd find it very funny.
That would be very funny. Yeah.
Poo, poo.
Poo.
It's just not very. I don't think it would do ghosts' reputations very well if they want
What
to
if
scare
it wasn't
people.
little? What if it was like, poo? It was really big.
Well, then
big
I'd be
poo.
worried they're saying that I smelt bad, and then I'd be just a bit upset.
Yeah, well, that's their aim, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Poltergeists.
Poltergeists. Oh my goodness. And the potty geists, of course, that we mentioned earlier. So
Yeah, they're friends.
yeah, I'm not surprised. They probably hang out just so they can sort of shout, poo, here's the potty. Yeah, it works out really well,
Yeah.
actually. Wow. Again, so many layers to that one. Alexandra's got another question as well, because, as I said, I didn't say how many questions. She said 3. But fair enough, all 3 are very important. She's also asked, why do shops not make costumes? Why do shops not make custom costumes for kids who want to be their parents for Halloween? Because they are terrifying when they're angry.
Probably just an issue with demand, I think.
Yeah, because you'd have to have one made of every single like, it would be tricky, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I think
Yeah.
it's a great idea, but I think the business model would actually be failing. I think you'd go out of business very quickly unless you
Yeah.
were charging quite a lot for a custom outfit. But I'll be honest, I'm not sure many children have the money for
Yes.
custom tailored.
I probably could suggest to Alexandra and in fact any of the children listening that if you want to dress up as your parents for Halloween, because they're your parents, what you probably could just do is like put some makeup under your eyes so you look tired and draw a beard on your face. It doesn't matter if you're going as whichever parent you're growing up, whichever grown up you live with. Draw a beard on your face and make your eyes look tired, and maybe drink, like, have stinky coffee breath, and I reckon you'll probably be exactly like them.
Just take the clothes. Just steal their clothes out there. I don't know why you need custom outfits. You've got one already in their wardrobe.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Just take their clothes and wear them out. Yeah, especially their fanciest.
Yeah.
Take their like really fancy clothes that they only save for really big nights out, because those are the ones you want to wear.
Yeah.
If you're going to go stomping around outside when it's wet and rainy. Yeah, I think that's a really good tip. It's a really good tip. So I mean, I think you've got a pretty reasonable answer then. Yeah, if they made ones for everyone's parents, that would be so. And also, it'd be really annoying if you turn up to a shop and like, I'd like to dress like my dad, and then you had to go through all the other dads till you found where your one. It would take forever.
Or what if someone else bought the one of your dad, and so someone else went as your dad, and then you had to try and find someone whose dad looked a bit like yours.
No, and then people be like, "Wow, your costume's rubbish. You don't look like your dad." Your dad's got a bum face, and that's not a bum face. And then it'd be awkward. Yeah, there's a lot of problems. I think it's probably a good idea to.
Or imagine if you walked into one of your parents' bosses and they thought you were your parent, and then they were like, "You have to come into work right now. It's important." And then you did, and then you were bad, and then they fired you. And then you had to explain to your parent why you got them fired.
Or even worse, what if you were good and then you kept having to go in, and then your parent got to have like a lovely time, like not going in and getting to go to school and hang out with all your friends, and then all your friends were like, "Whoa, you're even cooler as our friend than our friend is," and then you have to live a boring life doing grown-up stuff and paying bills. Actually scary.
Yeah, I actually, do you know what? I not only don't recommend opening a shop like that, I don't recommend dressing up as your parent. The risks are too big.
Far too big, and have genuinely scary consequences. So I think Alexandra, keep clear from that. Don't dress up as your grown-ups for Halloween. Wow, there you go. Well, that's all of Alexandra's questions answered. Right, we've got questions now from We've got a question first from Beatrix Coutsey, I think is her surname. Who and then we've got one, I think, I'm guessing from her sister Lila Coutsey. And Beatrix is age 6 and from Kansas City, which is very exciting because that's a
Cool.
great place for Halloween. Because obviously, if you've seen The Wizard of Oz, they have to deal with witches fairly often in Kansas, so they're really good at this sort of stuff. And Beatrix would like to know. This is an interesting question. Why are pumpkins pumpkins? And yeah, I mean it's a curious question.
It's a question they've been asking since the ages, isn't it?
Mm.
Since Greek philosophers were around, they were asking that question.
Yes, and they used to sit on like, the stone steps of like a big auditorium and a stadium, and they'd be like, "Why are pumpkins pumpkins? Oh Zeus!" And then they'd demand an answer from like the Greek gods, and no one would give one.
Yeah. Well, I actually do know the answer though.
Oh, do you?
It is because they are related to pumps.
Right.
You see, the next of kin.
Right.
Pumps, so it's pumpkins.
Sure. So they're like, are they like baby pumps? So if you have like a pump,
no, next of kin could be like it could be a parent or a sibling or anything like that.
Okay. And when you say pumps, do you mean like sort of bicycle pumps? Are you talking like foot pumps? What sort of pumps are we going for here?
Yes, all of them.
All the pumps.
That's why you get different types of pumpkins. That's why you might have like the different ones.
What, like a big pumpkin or a little pumpkin? There's those ones, aren't they?
There are. What's the one that's not butternut squash? Butternut pumpkin. Is that one?
I don't know. Probably. Probably. There's a butternut squash, and then there's a normal squash, isn't there? And then there's like a gourd. I think they're like trying to say good
because they
but
look
it's not
like
good.
gourds.
Yeah, that's it. But they're not like good. I always thought it was like because they're really good, but they're so good they're good. I thought that's what they were talking about. This one's really good. And then there's like pumpkins, but you can't pump things up with it. Like if you had an inflatable like mattress and you tried to pump it up with a pumpkin, that would take a really long time.
Yeah, no, they're just related. That doesn't make them the same.
Right.
But they're related because a lot of people don't know this, but in the old days, and this is why we have why people carve them at Halloween as well, is that in the old days they would hollow out a pumpkin and so it like could contain air.
Yeah.
And then they would run like a pipe from it into whatever they wanted to inflate.
Right.
And then you would jump on it and they would go and blow all the air into the thing.
Wow.
So they used to be used as pumps. Yeah. And then people like, these aren't very good pumps. We'll just say that they're related. They're pumpkins. They're
sure.
Yeah.
And they're better to eat or to put candles in. Then, because I mean, at the same time, you don't want to make a pie out of foot pumps because that would taste horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow, that's a fascinating history of the pumpkin there, Bec. Thank you for. I didn't realize you were so knowledgeable about pumpkins, but I mean, I should have known you would be. I should have known, obviously. And it's lucky because Lila Coutsey, who is age 12 and also from Kansas City. What are the chances?
Wow.
It's completely mad. She has asked, why do we carve pumpkins and not mangoes?
Because the mangoes weren't big enough back in the day to fill with air and pump anything up.
Yeah.
It was just the pumpkins were big enough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
But these days, you could. As in other countries, they might just be pumpkins here because that's what grows here. But
yes,
maybe in Costa Rica where there's lots of mangoes, maybe they do carve them.
I mean, I did wonder if part of it is it sometimes like mangoes can be really squishy, and if you tried to carve a mango, you'd just go, and then you'd end up with like mango everywhere, and you'd be like, "Can you see the face of my mango?" No, because it's all just squished, and that's rubbish.
You'd have to blow it up like a balloon.
Yeah, yeah, and you probably have to blow it up.
But
like
then
a
when
balloon
you went to put the face part in,
yeah,
it would pop it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have to like draw it on with a pen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why, like, for Halloween, if you wanted to, you couldn't draw a face on a mango with a pen.
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to hollow it out then. In
Mm.
fact, if we didn't hollow out stuff, you could draw a face on any
Yeah.
fruit or vegetable.
Yeah. I like the idea of having like
Nothing's stopping you.
scary banana or like a terrifying plum just sitting around in a windowsill.
Just a grape.
Yeah,
Some grape.
well, yeah, I like one grape, but you can also have a bunch where everyone is a different little scary face.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if anything, you've really pointed out, like, pumpkins really have the monopoly on Halloween, like, sort of vegetable or fruit. You know, I feel like other, you know, where's the scary potatoes? Like, can we share it out a little bit and
That's because
diversify the scary
yeah, because you get sweet
food?
potatoes, don't you? So they're the nice ones.
Mm,
They're really sweet.
yeah.
So they should have naughty potatoes.
Naughty potatoes.
Naughty potatoes. In fact, anyone listening, if you do a naughty potato display for Halloween, can you get an adult to send a photo to Comedy Club for Kids?
Yep.
I would like to see that.
Please send that, as you know, to podcast@comedyclubforkids.co.uk. I wonder if naughty potatoes are ones that refuse to put their jacket on. That might be the naughty
Oh
ones.
yeah.
Could be the naughty ones.
They would get very cold very quickly.
Yeah, exactly, which is really naughty. Wow, well that was some fantastic answering again. Thank you. We've got 3 more questions, and I've just realised actually. Oh no, 4 more questions. Sorry, and I've just realised the next question I think we might have answered earlier. So I'll see what you think about this. I didn't mean to answer this, or I don't think we meant to answer this earlier. But Ridley, age 9, has asked, how do free-range chickens celebrate Halloween? And in brackets, I am guessing the battery ones don't get a chance. Now, I know we answered it. We talked earlier about free-range chickens and ghost eggs, but I suppose we didn't say particularly how free-range chickens celebrate Halloween. And do they do anything in particular?
Yep. Well, actually, a lot of people don't realize this, but at Halloween, a lot of free-range chickens, they will save turkeys who are in distress. So the turkeys that are trying to escape before Christmas or Thanksgiving, if you're in the US or anything like that, they're like, oh, help me. And then the free range chickens will help them out of their cages and stuff, and then they'll go and get them across the border. They'll hide them, and they dress them up as chickens. They put like
amazing.
They like have to hide their gobbly neck bits.
Which I suppose Halloween is a perfect time to get a chicken costume in order to dress up a turkey as a chicken. And then I guess you can smuggle it out because everyone's too distracted with Halloween. Is that how that works?
Yeah, that's right. And then once they've got them all, then they have like a dance. They have like a nice fun celebration.
Now, do they do the funky chicken, or do they do some sort of turkey-based dance?
Turkey-basted dance.
Yeah, no, I was going to say you don't turkey-basted dance. That would probably be quite scary for the which I suppose would be a kind of Halloween night for the turkeys in a weird way. Yeah.
No, they do the chicken dance. That's exact, because if they started doing turkey dances, then it might backfire. Someone might think that they're all turkeys.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like the turkeys and the chickens, and then they'll all end up as dinner. So
that's true.
Only ever the chicken dance. Sometimes they do the Mexican hat dance just because it's fun.
Of course. Well, why wouldn't you? It's like it's one of the best. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I was going to say, do you think because I thought we brought up a good point there, but like obviously free range chickens then don't do Halloween like how like humans do because they're too busy saving turkeys. But I wondered if they did. Do you think they dress up as like a drumstick, or do you think they dress up as like, because like we dress up as like skeletons? So would chickens dress up as like skeleton chickens, or just sort of like a roast chicken or something like that?
Actually, the most popular costume for chickens at Halloween is is dinosaurs. They dress as dinosaurs because that's obviously where all birds evolved from dinosaurs. So it's like dressing up as a ghost because you're sort of going as your ancestor.
Wow.
So they go as
I would
dinosaurs.
love to see a whole load of small chickens dressed as dinosaurs parading, like, round, knocking on doors, asking for treats, which would be easy to give them treats. Just give them some seed or whatever, and that's it, like pellets.
Yeah, they
Be
do
really
move
easy.
in flocks.
Yeah, it'd be great. Wow. Well, that is great. That is great. Thank you, Bec. Fantastic. Right, we've got this. This question's got quite a long lead in, so I'm gonna read it all to you. And this question for listeners. So I should just say this question is from Biggie Cheese, and listeners who may have heard the episode with Luke Rollison knows that we did have an annoying noise sent in by not Biggie Cheese, but Biggie Cheese sent their regards, whereas this has actually been sent in by Biggie Cheese. So just so you can keep up with that there. It's very nice to actually have Biggie Cheese send one in themselves. So this message is, hello, Radio Nonsense. I have a very extremely trefendatorissimously importante questione. Why are ghosts made out of tea towels, laundry and bed sheets? I'm actually stumped. Help, please. Lots of burps and thermometers. Biggie Cheese. Gust for the record, I am minus 97 to the power of 5 times 4%. Also, so from Biggie Cheese. So that's that. I mean, the question in there was why are ghosts? I mean, there's a lot to sort of pick out through that, but the main question was why are ghosts made out of tea towels, laundry, and bed sheets? And I like the tea towel ghosts myself. They're very handy in the kitchen.
Yes, yeah, they are small as well. Very small, those ones.
Yes, very small, but like really, they just sort of, if they fly to you just as you need to like dry the washing up, that's really, or just as someone spills something, that's really helpful.
Yeah. What you don't want is them to fly to you when everything's dry already.
Yes, that's
this
it.
is not helpful.
Yeah, or like they fly in your face while you're trying to do something. That's quite bad. Yeah.
I would actually argue that ghosts are only ever laundry and sheets and things when they're haunting a place where those things haven't been put away properly.
Wow.
Because it's like, if you're going through your drawer and you're throwing stuff behind you, it's probably like chances are it'll land on a ghost. So it's not that they're like choosing to be in those things. It's just you're probably so messy that it got caught in one of those things. Like, try it out. If you threw around feathers and stuff, the ghost in your house probably be covered in feathers.
Yeah. So if you just like threw pants everywhere, you'd end up with like pants ghosts.
Pants ghosts, exactly. Yeah.
It's an interesting experiment to see what you could throw around where you live and see if you then get ghosts covered in, like, if you threw around like cornflakes, would you get a cornflake ghost? And if you threw around, I don't know what shampoo, would you get a shampoo? Like you could really sort of see what exciting ghosts concoctions you could come up with, and maybe certain things would really suit a ghost more than others. That might be quite nice.
Yeah, that's I would argue that sheets of things very shapeless. Ghosts, they never get to show off their figures.
I'll tell you what's interesting, right? Is shower curtains seem to stick to everything. Like, because if you ever have a shower curtain, and you have a shower, it always sticks to you, right? It always does. But then you never see ghosts like with shower curtains on, even though, like, you'd think that would be the one thing that would stick to them.
That's why they stick to you, though, because they're ghosts.
Oh, they're already
They're trying to attack you.
Oh, I see. Right.
But because they're like shower curtains, they're attached to the rod. Like sheets and things aren't, so they can go around. So those ones you don't see around because they can't escape the shower. They have to be there.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah.
When the shower curtain tries to stick to you, that's just a ghost trying to scare you or hug you.
And I guess they've got like a job because they have to be in the shower, whereas the others, well, tea towel ghosts I guess have jobs as well, but I don't know. The other ghosts are a bit more kind of variable in what they want to do, and maybe haven't chosen their profession yet. Yeah. Wow, that's very fascinating.
I was going to say that I don't think the ones in the showers I don't think it's their job. I think they're being punished. They're actually it's like they're being handcuffed to the rail. That's why they've got all those little circles. So they were very naughty, and so now they have to stay in the bathroom where all the poos are done.
Right, yeah, which is a really mean punishment. I mean, but I
That's
obviously,
why they try and grab hold of you. They're like,
yeah,
"Get me out of here! It smells like poo."
poo, and that's
Boo! Back to the beginning. Goodbye.
wow, wow. Well, that's yeah, wow. So yeah, that's really interesting. Okay, well, that's good. And I suppose Biggie Cheese here has asked about these ghosts made of tea towels, laundry, and bed sheets, and maybe if there are any listeners who have ghosts in where they are that are made that have got other things on them, because maybe you tied your tea towels, laundry, and bed sheets away. Please write in and let us know. I'd love to know what kind of ghost you have where you are. Beck, just out of interest, does your poltergeist at your home, does he wear sort of tea towels, laundry, and bed sheets, or do you put yours away properly? And does he have to wear
Yeah.
something else?
Sometimes he has a tea towel, but it's just sort of draped over his shoulder, so it's not in a traditional ghost sense. When he
Sure.
makes the bed, there's then it looks a bit like a
Sure.
ghost. When you
Sure.
wave the sheet across so that it sort of gets all straight
Yeah.
on the bed.
Right, sure. So just like sort of temporary. Yeah, because my potty ghost in particular, the little one, she often has a sheet over her, but normally just when she's going to bed, and then when she is still in bed in the morning, but otherwise no sheets. She has a towel
Yeah.
sometimes when she gets out of the bath, but it's not particularly
Your little one's
scary.
usually wearing pajamas.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, normally pajamas. I suppose maybe maybe I need to tidy up the pajamas a bit more, so that. But then she might get cold. You do have to worry about ghosts. You don't want them to get. Sometimes,
Yeah, they get
since it's
cold.
nice to leave out these bed sheets and things, otherwise they get cold. Maybe leave out a woolly jumper, a hat. As it gets
Or
to
a blanket.
wintertide. Yeah, that's nicer, isn't it? That is nicer. Right, well, I think that one was very succinctly answered. Thank you to Biggie Cheese, so Biggie Cheese, for sending that one in. This is our penultimate question, and this is from Millie, who is aged minus 123789 HSHS. So I don't know if that's
Wow.
hours. I don't know what the HS stands for. High speed horses. I don't know what it
High
stands
school hydrogen something.
Yes, maybe high school hydrogen snorkels. Yeah, that could
Yes.
be. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's it. Yeah. That's everyone likes to sort of you feel you should be the age that you want to be. That's what I think. If you feel that age, if Millie feels the age of minus 123789 high school hydrogen snorkels, then you go for it, Millie. I think I'm quite jealous, to be honest. I'd love to be that age.
Very young. I'm impressed that Millie sent us anything.
Which, you know what? She sent us, not only did she send us things in, she sent us things in with, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 emojis, which is also a good number for Halloween.
Wow.
So that's, I mean, considering she is minus that age, she's doing very well. She's very smart. Very, very smart. And Millie has asked, and again, there's been a lot of pumpkin-based chat already, but Millie has asked, do pumpkins come alive on the night of Halloween?
The ones that haven't been carved. The ones who've been carved, yeah, they don't. You wouldn't want them to either.
No.
They would. Yeah. Someone's cut out all my head.
There's a candle in my brain. That would be the worst bit. They'd wake up and their brain would be boiling hot because they'd have a candle in their head. Yeah.
Yep. So then all the other pumpkins that haven't been carved go around looking at the other ones, and they're like, "Oh, God, that wasn't me."
Yeah. So they're like a warning to all the other pumpkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually quite dark.
No, it's really dark. Yeah, it's really dark. I mean, I suppose we wouldn't really notice if pumpkins came alive because they sort of stuck in the ground, and they can't really do very much until you sort of take them out and carve them. So, would we know?
I would set up a trap.
Whoa, what sort of
Yeah,
trap?
I would take what pumpkins love more than anything.
What's that?
Lattes.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, of course. Right.
They loved a latte.
Yes,
they love
of
it.
course.
They love a latte.
Yeah, is that now?
So-
That's why they've made the. Am I right in thinking that the pumpkin spice latte is to put pumpkins off having lattes because they wouldn't want a latte that tastes like themselves? That would be disgusting.
Correct.
So
That we have to have pumpkin spice lattes at Halloween, because if we don't, the pumpkins drink all of them.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it's a
a
very
deterrent.
clever tactic, and we all think, oh, they're just bringing out the pumpkin spice latte because the humans love to drink them. No, it is absolutely like a deterrent. It's a bit like how if a dog wheezes somewhere, like another dog will go, oh, that's that dog's territory. So if like the pumpkins are like, I'm going to have this latte, oh, it already smells like pumpkin. That's not for me. It's basically the same, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. And do pumpkins don't come alive any other night of the year?
No.
Wow, what a weird life that must be for. But I suppose it's a bit like flying ants. You only get flying ants like one day a year, don't you? So I suppose you only get sort of like living pumpkins one day a year as well. Makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
Although
Well,
if a pumpkin comes flying in through your window at summer, then it's far scarier.
yes, that's true. That's true. And then also, you know that the seasons are all a bit off, and yeah, that's how you can tell. If a pumpkin goes flying through your window during the summer, yeah, which is really
Yeah.
really unpleasant. There have been cases of that happening, and it's not particularly pleasant for anyone, including the pumpkin, who I don't think enjoys it either. Just looking for a latte, that's all they wanted. So, if you do see
I'm
pumpkins roaming
enjoying saying
around,
pumpkin this much, because
it's a
pump
nice
is a
word.
nickname for farts, isn't it? People say pump is farts as well.
Oh, that's the
Fartkin
point. A
is a lot
fartkin.
less.
A fartkin is when you do something that's the relative of a fart, like a burp.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, I did a fartkin.
I'm gonna say that now every time I burp. Excuse my fartkin.
Excuse my fartkin. I like that. That's a fantastic term for. Do you know? When we were talking about pumpkins earlier, I'd completely forgotten that you say, "Yeah, just like a trouser pump." I suppose then is a relative of a pumpkin as well. Yeah. How weird. Wow. That's thank
Yeah.
goodness pumpkins. Imagine if pumpkins like you open them up and they just stank of farts. Like no, and then you wouldn't want to light a candle in them. That would be dangerous.
Well, people do that, don't they? They say light a candle when something, or light a match when something smells, because the smell of the match
Yeah.
covers up the smell. So maybe
Yeah.
that's why we put candles in them,
Maybe
because
that's
they smell
why.
like pumps.
Maybe that is why. And I should say, obviously, listeners, that you get grown-ups to light the match. Don't do that yourself, particularly because you're probably farting, and that would be very dangerous to do that at the same time as farting. Wow. Pumpkins are really, it's amazing. It's one of those things that I think we've really sort of unearthed in this conversation, just how important pumpkins are to the planet in so many ways. They're just related to everything. They come alive. They've changed the shape of
ecosystem.
coffee. It's really, wow, it's really impressive. I sort of feel like I'm not going to take pumpkins quite for granted in the same way that I did before from now on. And I hope listeners will be the same. Right, Bec, we're on to the final question. Thank you for answering all of these. I really can't believe how many questions we've had in. But we've got one last question. And this one, I'm not going to lie, I've been thinking about this one since it arrived in the Comedy Club Kids podcast inbox the other day. Right, this is from Aston. And Aston asked, I find it hard to ask this without laughing because I'll tell you what I keep imagining once I'm told you the question. But Aston asked, why do zombies eat brains, not bums? Now, ever since I read that question, all I can imagine are lots of zombies going, bums, bums, which is so funny. We're being attacked by zombies. Bums, bums. It's too funny. Yeah. So why do they, Bec? Why do they eat brains, not bums?
It's actually because they want to eat something that they don't have. Like zombies don't have brains, so they want to eat brains so that they have brains. But
Right.
zombies do have bums. But if a zombie didn't have bums, then maybe it would eat bums.
Right.
So
Right. That's interesting. Yeah. That's a very good point. Yeah. I mean, I also wonder because like you know, like say if you're a zombie, to eat a brain, you've got to like bite someone's head, basically, or you've got to eat their brain. But to eat someone's bum, you've got to bite their bum, and that is more just like that's not as nice. And also, I think that often bums are covered up. Like you could easily, if there was like a zombie horde and it was just out to eat your bum, you could just wear like lots of pants, or like you could wear like a bum protective box or something. You could just put like your bum in a bucket, and then no zombie would get your bum. Whereas like it's easier for them to get your head to get your brains, isn't it?
Yeah. What? Putting your bum in a bucket is like, that's a helmet, isn't it? Like that's the equivalent of your bum wearing a helmet.
Oh, that's true. You could just wear a helmet on your head to protect your brains, I suppose. Yeah, that's true. But I didn't think of that. Yeah.
Maybe just zombies are very bad at. You never really see a zombie crouching, do you, or bending over? And I think maybe just like your brain is an easier distance for a zombie to bite, whereas to get your bum, it would have to bend over, and then it might not be able to get back up again.
Yeah, and also like bits fall off zombies, don't they? Because they're sort of undead and all like horrible, and so if they like bent over to bite your bum, they like just might fall apart.
Yeah. So it might just be it's not a very safe way of doing it.
No, that's true. That's true. It's a shame.
And also, you could just sit down. They wouldn't be able to get you.
Yeah, that would be really. Yeah, I mean, I think they'd have great difficulty like getting my bum because I'd just be sitting on the sofa, and they just get really annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be really hungry a lot of the time. I think it's probably I mean, it is a shame though because I do think bums is much funnier to say like that.
It is, yeah. Maybe zombies think that heads are like kiwi fruit. You know how they're furry on the outside. So they think that maybe brains will be like nice and sweet like kiwi fruit. Like maybe zombies have brains and then they're like, bleh, gross. Why are we doing this to ourselves?
But then you see, I'd argue, but like a bum can look like a peach. So maybe they're like some bums look like peaches. So they could be like, peaches. But like if they think your head's a kiwi fruit, they might think your bum's a peach. They might think your fingers are sausages.
If there's one thing I've learned from this, it's that if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, we could probably make things to deter like fake versions of us. If you had a kiwi fruit.
But it's all the fruit and vegetables that we drew. All the fruits and vegetables we drew scary faces on earlier. We just leave them out. And it'll really confuse the zombies. All the like single like scary grape they'll think is a person's brain.
Yeah, they're like brains. Oh, brains! So it's like we're just training them to eat delicious fruit and vegetables to be very healthy.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you stuck a kiwi fruit on top of a watermelon with a peach on the bottom, and then sausages.
Yeah.
For the hands.
Well, do you know the joke? Now I should say this isn't my joke, but do you know the joke about what do vegetarian zombies say? They say grains.
Grains. Yeah.
So they could just sort of change up what they're going for, and they could. I mean, maybe. Maybe if we just told them about the other things they could eat, they might demand other things. Like sort of banana split or like pack of crisps. Yeah.
Maybe they just need educating. Is all.
Yeah. Which is going to be hard because they haven't got brains. So it's going to be tricky to educate.
Oh, maybe that's why they need the brains. It's catch-22, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Catch-20 boo.
Catch-20. I was going to say earlier, we were talking about if ghosts said poo instead of boo and zombies said bums instead of brains, then I think Halloween would be a lot funnier in general.
It would.
I'm quite sad.
I really hope that someone listening draws us a picture of a zombie diversion, dummy, which is made up with a kiwi fruit for a head, watermelon for a body, peach for a bum, sausages for hands.
Please.
I really want to see that picture.
Please send that in. Amazing. Well, thank you, Bec. I mean, you've answered all of the Halloween questions that I think will ever be asked throughout time ever again. So thank you. I don't think anyone could ever have any other questions about Halloween. I can't imagine what needs to be asked ever again about Halloween. I think you've answered all of it.
And if anyone's not happy with those answers, or if it's raised further questions, then I'll be back next year, same time next year, with my pumpkin zombie friends.
Oh, that's good to know. Well, I'm glad you've already signed up to next year's. If there are more Halloween questions, then we will definitely do that. Well, thanks, Bec. And are you doing anything spooky for the rest of today?
I'm going to go to the shops.
Whoa! If you say anything like that, it's instantly spooky. I've got to put the pins out. It's like terrifying. Yeah. Well, good luck going to the shop, and just I suppose beware of pumpkins looking for lattes, and zombies that eat bums.
Yeah. If you see someone who looks very, very orange, like unnaturally orange, and they're holding a coffee, that's a pumpkin.
Wise words. Be careful out there, everyone. Be careful of the pumpkins this Halloween. Thanks, Bec.
I am horrible, most horrible.
Fangs! Get it? Fangs to the glorious Bec Hill for answering all of your Halloween questions, and I hope you have enjoyed them or were terrified until your socks flew off into the night. One of those reactions would be brilliant. Be a real pain to get your socks back, I suppose, if they flew off, wouldn't it? So maybe it's just best to enjoy the show instead. If you are in the UK, then Bec Hill hosts the superbly fun Makeaway Takeaway on CITV and the ITV player, and do go there to watch that. And she's also released the first of her Horror Heights comedy horror books for kids, and the first one's called The Slime. So get your ancient creaking fart ghouls, grown-ups, to grab that for you from all good bookshops, but also all the terrifyingly evil and scary bookshops too. Don't forget to check out my Scream Street Guides to Being a Stand-Up Comedian, which you can find on the Mega Magazine YouTube channel. There's all 4 parts of them. For some reason, loads and loads of people have watched part 3 compared to parts 1, 2 and 4, which is very strange. So watch all of those ones a little bit more, and I'll pop all the links in the podcast blurb as well. And of course, if you've got a question that isn't for Halloween, and it's not just for Christmas, then maybe it's just for one of our usual podcast episodes, or if you want to tell us anything at all that you really need me here at CC4KHQ to know, then get those same grown-ups to help you email us at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk. I don't really know when to do this laugh. Is it good to do it at the end there? Email us at podcast@comedyclubforkids.co.uk. Doesn't really fit there either, does it? Happy Halloween! Tee burp. You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents. Radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense. It's the end.